Just a little warmer today. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Superior Heights John Wayne Fieldhouse Football NOSSA Final in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. We have our hometown Korah Colts against the Algonquin Barons from North Bay, Ontario. I will be on the play-by-play today alongside JB, doing the color commentary. We got Big House running the show in the booth. JB, I had a chance to talk to a couple of the coaches before we started, head coach Ryan Desbian, and he said the biggest key for him today was to limit the mistakes, and he doesn't want to give Korah another opportunity that they need. And Coach Anna kind of alluded to the same thing, and he was on board saying that limiting mistakes, and he says he understands that they're going to try and stop Nathan Gazzetti, and other teams have tried, and it just we haven't seen it work too well this year. They've stopped him a couple of times, but at one point or another he breaks free. So he had a couple of good players on his team that he mentioned, and we're going to have to look for those. A couple of their defensive players, and his son as well is on the team, and he really didn't want to allude to it. And I know, being a father coach in the past, that you don't want to give props to your players, but he brought up a few names. Jacob McGill, number 54. He did say number 32, his son Desbian, and their quarterback, and they got a couple other players there that their numbers were eluding me right now. But I just expect a good start to this, and we're going to see who wins the line. And that was another thing that Coach Desbian brought up, that the game's going to be won on the line, and he knows how astute that the Korah line is and how they pride their game. So, your thoughts on today?
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw the Algonquin Barons here a couple of years ago. I don't remember if it was 2021 or the year before, but we got a taste of what their style of offense is, what their style of football is. They're a tough team, and they gave Korah a good challenge for about 3 quarters last game. The thing that worked against them was twofold. One, the weather wasn't great that day. There was a lot of snow before and during the game. And there was also a very strong run game. And when I say strong, I mean power run game at Korah at that time with Michael Nicoletta and Ryan Barnes, and they were just able to enforce their will in a weather situation that really benefited Korah. Well, that's not really the case here today, and we look at Dane Mayer, who's the quarterback over there at Algonquin. You look at his stats, 17 touchdowns and folks, 0 interceptions as a grade 11 quarterback this year. They seem to do a great job motioning their guys into space. If you look at all the notes on them, they do a great job of distributing the ball and passing it around. That might be the best offensive performance or team we're going to see against Korah here this year, although St. Mary's is ranked pretty high in the province themselves. So I'm excited to see how these two contrasting styles shape up. Korah, we know what we're getting out of them. Speed and power run game with hopefully the ability to have an effective play action off of it. Number 10 ranked program in the country, Korah, is coming into this game. So we'll see if Algonquin has a bit of what we'll call an upset in store, but looking at the notes of them, they definitely have some big playmakers.
Yeah, so for today, folks, we're going to have the Korah Colts kicking off to the Algonquin Barons, who are in the, I guess I would say, maroon color today. So Korah wearing their home whites. So this is going to be, we're going to be off to a treat here, I think, this afternoon, and we couldn't ask for better weather. So, and we're ready to go. The kick is off. Korah trying to get on a quick chip shot there, and looked like the Algonquin Barons were well ready for that one. I'm a little surprised that
all right, we tried the onside kick.
They tried that little chip shot with AJ Cachamilio, but maybe they see something in film where they don't want to kick it deep and try and keep it away from one of the elite players on the Baron program.
Yeah, I think it's an aggressive play off the bat from Korah, but you're kind of challenging Coach Desbian and his players to stand up to what they were saying, right? Fewest mistakes, most focused wins. Great sign early on for Algonquin that they're locked into this game.
So it looks like the Algonquin team will take over on their own 51 with 11:50 here to start in the first quarter of this game.
1st and 10 for the Barons.
So back to pass and a draw play for number 24 for the Barons. Ryan Semolina.
Well, safe little play to start things off here. Just a run to see what Korah has when it comes to their front seven. What I like about the Barons is that they're spreading out their run lanes a little bit. They're trying to create some run lanes for themselves by having the splits in their offensive line a little wider than normal. With this Korah defense, though, you're going to have to be decisive and get upfield quick because that speed on that defense will close in on you.
That's 100% for sure. Those defensive ends for Korah are well coached, and they'll be ready for this game. Expect Aiden Mwanch and Aston Shotson to have a good game, as well as Commissar on 85. Quarterback back to pass. Underthrown.
Pass off the middle. Falls incomplete, intended for number 32.
So
Matthew
Dane Meyer, a little bit underthrowing there, and it's going to be up to
sets up 3rd down.
The Barons
for the
now
Barons.
to bring on their punt team and see what they can get. And we have the ever crazy Paul Kolbeck coached special teams here, and Nathan Gazzetti's the secret weapon, who's back deep, along with it looks like Hunter Dickinson. So we've seen a lot of Hunter as well returning kicks. So this is going to be specials and how it's won. So looks like they tried to angle that one, and they don't want any part of anybody running it back.
With a kick.
Looked like the ball went out somewhere around the 27-yard line. So we're going to see the vaunted Korah chain gang here early in the first quarter.
Well, I like that call on specials by the Barons. You've done your research, you've watched your film, you realize number 22 for Korah, Nathan Gazzetti, is the best player, at least by his position, by a long mile in Northern Ontario, maybe one of the best running backs in the province. Elite speed, so you don't want to give him the chance to wreck this game early. I love the idea to just put it out of bounds, not give any of the weapons on Korah's special teams a chance to change the game.
So we're going to have the matchup of offensive coordinator Ryan Hankinson against the defensive coordinator Zach Wilkinson for the Algonquin Barons. Seeing Murdoch under pistol. Quick handoff up the middle to Thibodeau. Looked like he got about 5 on the play, 4 to 5, 40 yards. It looks like.
And off to Thibodeau.
Yeah, you hear Nathan Gazzetti in the
some
game
good hard
script and
yards.
in the preparation all week if you're on the Barons sideline. But the one thing that makes him so effective is that it's not just him in that running game. You also have Thibodeau, who is a giant fullback who loves to just attack linebackers at the second level, runs downhill, attacks you hard. So they really do have thunder and lightning in the
That
backfield of
makes
this
it
wing T
2nd and
offense.
6 after a 4-yard run.
Yeah, 100%. And we nicknamed
Jacob
Thibodeau the
McGill with the
bulldozer in
tackle.
grade 9, and there's a reason for that.
With some help from Wyatt Grant.
Oh,
Flags
looks like
out immediately.
early flag here, so a little potential false start or procedure, as it's known in Canadian football.
Yeah, sometimes with the Colts O-line, what you'll see is Coach Annett gets them firing so far off of their haunches instead of their heels that they're almost leaning and falling into their blocks sometimes. Sometimes it gets a little bit in anticipation, a little bit antsy as an O-lineman, and you start to fall forward, and they call that a rolling start, which is a legal procedure.
Yeah, and also, you know what, there's a little bit pregame jitters going to be happening right now as well, John. As you well know, it's a championship game, and you should see a little bit of those bugs,
2nd and
right?
11
Big game.
after the penalties applied.
And credit to the Algonquin Barons here, stuffing that play up the
54,
middle.
Jacob McGill with the big stop.
That was the player that Coach Desbian alluded to. Number 54 is one of their big playmakers. He made a bunch of their
Gazzetti with the
tackles.
carry, gets stopped. That's going to set
He's
up
a load for sure. He looks like a big, strong
1
kid.
yard
So
gain. That's going to set
Well,
up 3rd and
if you have a
10.
guy in the
Punt team
interior
out.
like that who can eat up runs, send Nathan Gazzetti up the middle as best you can. Do your absolute best to keep that contain on the edge. Force him into your skill players or your best tacklers on this defense. And if the Barons have a few of those type of playmakers on defense, there is a chance they can keep this game nice and close here today.
Looks like Smetana back for Algonquin.
Nixon Blair back to kick. Gets a good kick off. Lands around the 45, down to the 35 where they'll pick it up and try and get it out. And he's pushed
takes
out
it
aside immediately at the
Almost to the
37-yard
40
line of the Korah
tackled,
Colts.
possibly out of bounds.
So the Barons will take over
1st
on
and
the
10 Algonquin.
37 of their own end zone.
Yeah, the thing that I like about the first drive from the Barons was their first passing play. The thing that they feel most comfortable doing is in breaking routes across the middle. And Korah's going to give you, if they're going to give you anything, it's going to be just over the heads of the linebackers. They're going to play a high shell defense with their safeties and DBs. They're going to try to make you fall in love with the flats and running the ball. And then as soon as you can't run the ball anymore, you start to take deep shots. And that's the trap against Korah. They have a ton of ball hawks. So those in-breaking routes is a good sign for the Barons. We'll see if they stick to that game script as they go on.
Yeah, you know what? Credit to both of these coaching teams for getting their teams this far. I just want to give an early shout out to them, and as we both know up here, what it takes to commit to a full season of football. This starts the over the summer, and then we get into those 2 weeks at the end of August where they start rolling, and now we're into the last couple weeks of November. And credit to them for all the time that they give up.
2 undefeated programs up to this point, I believe, too, this season, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. So, kick back again. They had them re-kick, so didn't see that flag, and now
Smetana again.
it looks like
Out of bounds
Algonquin's
just
going to
before
take
the
over
40, or sorry,
actually
tackle
now
just before the
at their
40.
own 38 to 40-yard line. So.
Yeah, and
Think
Karkidi
Melchior
getting
with
involved
tackle.
there, a name that you're going to hear on both sides of the ball for Korah on offense and
They're
defense
saying
and special teams there as well,
1st
as you
and
just
10
saw.
Algonquin. Looks like they're
He's not
marking
going to
it
be
right at
the
40.
primary ball carrier. He's not even going to be a focal point, but when he does get the ball, it's as a tempo-setting play. It's meant to get the defense off script and a little bit distracted, and he loves to get aggressive once you get to second level with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, 100%. So, looks like from the pistol, we have Dane Meyer back for the and they're trying to run up the middle here. So he's able to gain about
Meyer
5
hands
yards.
off.
So he handed it off to
Number
Connor
3, Connor
Filiatro.
Tackle.
Yeah,
by
nice little run there.
Gazzetti.
Like I said before, if you're going to run the ball on Korah, don't start falling in love with the open space once you get to the outside. Find a way to cut upfield, eat the yards while you can, because the Korah speed is very, very high on this defense. You want to take those yards in the run game as quickly as you can.
So still back in the pistol formation here. Looks like there's a flag on the play early, trying to go deep, and he's
Looking
picked
deep.
off. So that was picked off by,
Picked
I think,
off.
prettle sure that's Nathan Hyam.
Nathan
but
Hyam comes
it's going
down
to
it, but we do have
depend
a
on the
flag
flag
on
here.
42.
So who was over the line first? He is, I don't know, referee Ewell seems to be pointing towards the Korah team here. So referee Edwards. No, it was offside against the Barons. And, you know, that 17 straight touchdowns without a pick has come to an end. Nathan Hyam
Penalty will be declined. It'll be
jumped
first
in front
and
of the
10,
receiver
Korah.
who was running the fly pattern and looked over there and is able to come down with the ball. So big turnover early, and that's something Coach Desbian talked about limiting. So
Yeah, and we talked about it and touched upon it a little bit earlier, but that's the trap with this Korah defense. They have a bunch of ball hawks back there, and Hyam is one of them. He used to be a quarterback as a junior in this Korah program. He has a high IQ for what the quarterback's trying to do. Do not throw to the deep thirds against this Korah team unless you have to.
So a handoff up the middle quick to Thibodeau, and he's rumbling. He's got some open space,
Murdoch with
and
the
he's brought
handoff
down
to
right around the
Thibodeau. He gets all the way
36-yard
down to
line.
the
So
35.
Well, he'll have to come out for 3 plays there because he finished a little strong and knocked his own helmet off in the end. But, yeah, we call him Thunder and you call him the Bulldozer. It doesn't mean he doesn't have big play capability. The thing that's really hard about him to stop as a defender is he gets rolling, and he does not slow down once you start to brace for impact.
yeah, that was a 40-yard run. So big run to start off this series for
Daryl
Korah.
following some terrific.
Coach Hankinson
Thibodeau
signaling in the play
following
here.
some terrific
Looks
blocking.
like Zane Murdoch will be operating from the gun here.
Korah trying to
Gets to
press the tempo here,
36-yard
too,
line.
something
First
to keep
and
an eye
10,
on.
Korah.
Handoff is to Gazzetti up the middle.
Gazzetti
And reeled in by
gets
the
a
big
couple
number
of hard yards.
95,
Korah being taken down by number 95.
Wyatt Grant for
Wyatt
the
Grant.
Algonquin Barons.
Well, that's another player that Coach Desbian told us to watch was number 95, Wyatt Grant. And so far, 2 of his big playmakers on defense are the 2 who have made stops on Nathan Gazzetti thus far. They're doing a great job forcing him to cut up the middle, and there's someone waiting for them there with a good form tackle every time.
Yeah, he's a towering young man. He's definitely the tallest kid on the field, and I'm betting he packs a load for that defense. So it looks like Algonquin's crowding the line here pretty early, and they jumped offside, and there's a high snap. Zane Murdoch jumped the
High
ball,
snap.
and he didn't
Murdoch
cover it.
tries to fall on
Algonquin
it.
covers it.
You know what, Coach? I don't think the
It's
officials
recovered
knew
by
who to call that
Algonquin.
on because it happened
They
so
signal
quick that
Algonquin
both
ball.
D-line and O-line jumped sporadically there, kind of offbeat. So the officials just let it
After
play
the
in,
high
and I
snap,
think that
number 8
Korah's
from
probably going to ask
Algonquin,
some questions
Liam
about what the
Cosgrove recovered.
decision was
First
on
and
that.
10,
Yeah, I
Algonquin.
don't know how that wasn't called unless we're not seeing a flag on this side, but that somebody definitely jumped ahead of time. So
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a play like that where both the offense and defense look disjointed. I thought I heard the officials on the PA there. It was just someone here in our booth. Sorry about that there, folks. But, yeah, if I'm Korah, I guess I'd want an explanation on why that wasn't at least offsetting fouls or something. But
yeah, I don't know.
here we are. What a break for Algonquin after
Yeah,
a costly turnover.
yeah, they turned it right back over. So Algonquin back to their offense, and Coach Dane Meyer, or quarterback Dane Meyer, back in the pistol. Slings it out. He's got a receiver open. Number 4, Owen Shillington, able to get, looks like first down yardage. So he was wide open on that coverage.
Meyer scrambles.
Looks like a bit of a blown coverage here on the far
Passes
side.
complete to number 4, Owen
Yeah,
Shillington.
Korah will give you the flats here and there, especially if they think that you're going to start falling in love with the deep
enough for
thirds.
a
And a
first
great
down
job
for the
there,
Barons.
just decisively getting the ball to the playmaker while he was open. No second guessing, just getting the ball out
Ethan
and a first
Carbo
down as
with
a
the
result.
stop for your Colts.
So first down, Barons starting to get to their passing game, which everything I've read about them alludes to. That's what kind of team they are. They did a bunch of running, but it looked like a lot of weather involved in the championship game that they had. So quick run here up the middle, and that one's ate
Handoff
up
to
big
number
time.
24,
The handoff
Satana.
was number 5, Ryan
He hits the line,
Septana.
taken down
and,
by no less than 3 Colts.
Looks like he got about 3 yards on the play.
What I do like about the running game
Beautiful
for the
stop by
Barons
the
is that
Colts.
they get the ball into the hands of the running back quickly. There's no
Maybe a 2-yard
window
gain.
dressing, no motion that's meant to throw off the linebackers or anything. They know against this Korah defense, you have to get to the ball line of scrimmage as quickly as possible.
I wouldn't hesitate to see the defensive coordinator for Korah start sending some heat if they're going to do not trying to jam up those gaps. So quarterback back to pass, under pressure here. And he's able to throw it away. I'm not sure.
I think this is going to be intentional grounding there, Coach. It didn't get past the original line of scrimmage, and there was no immediate receiver visible in the vicinity.
Meyer on the run,
Yeah,
trying
I
to
think
get
all
away.
three referees were caught in on that. So
Aiden Wanch. We do have flags on the play.
he did have a player in the vicinity,
After he threw
however.
away.
So he had his fullback in the vicinity. So
Well, I think in this case, it's good that they throw the flag. That way they can have a conversation about it. And worst case scenario, pick them all up.
yeah, just based on what I saw, definitely was in the vicinity. It wasn't like he just threw it to nowhere. So it wasn't like he was throwing to a lineman. Number 45 is their fullback. So referee Edwards and referee Maniaco and Fitzpatrick and you all having a discussion about what they thought. So maybe referee Maniaco saw that he was in play. So we're going to see.
We'll wait for a signal here. Korah's D-line showing off their speed there as well, though. This D-line's not just big. They're going to chase down your quarterback. He tries to scramble out of the pocket, too. So quick, decisive decision-making. This is decline there, Coach.
Right, after all is said and done, they're picking up
I
the
believe
flag.
you were
There is
correct
no
on
flag
the
the
vicinity
play.
decision there.
3rd and 8 for Algonquin.
Although they are marking
Looks
the
like
ball at the
punt
wrong
team's coming
hash.
out.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
I guess they're okay. So he definitely was in the vicinity in my playbook, JB, and looks like the referees made the right call there. So no harm, no foul.
Hunter
And
Dickinson back.
Well, and that's where you like to see them
Emilio
throw
Shao.
the flag just in case. Then they can have a conference about it and pick it up if they need to.
so it
right?
looks like Algonquin originally looking like they had a
Santana
hot
kick.
person, and back to kick is number 24, Santana, kicks it out of bounds, and Korah will take
No
over
chance for
somewhere
return. Ball goes out of
around
bounds.
the
The ball is going to be marked at
32-yard line.
Yeah.
So Korah's going to take over with 4:31 here to go early in the first of this game.
Well, it looks like an intentional gain script here early on by the Barons to punt it out of bounds, not let the playmakers on the Korah special teams make big impact plays. And so far, it's working out pretty good. The score is 0-0 here, pretty deep into the first quarter. It's been pretty even for field position. So the Barons playing what I would call conservative football, but against this Korah team, that's what you need to do until you see your moment open up.
Yeah, you know what? We called for that, you and I, all year long. If I'm the other opposing coach, I'm not kicking to Nathan Gazzetti anywhere on this field, and kept kicking out of bounds. And it continued to happen, and it paid dividends for Korah and not so much for the other team. So
Gazzetti tries to go off tackle.
Nathan
Gets
Gazzetti
it
with the
just
run.
beyond
Looks
the
like he got about
35.
3.5 yards. A little bit different a game plan here from the Korah team. They're trying to
54,
run up
Jacob
the
McGill.
middle here, and I'm not sure if it's based on
With the tackle.
what they're getting on a coverage look or what's going on here, but they look like they're trying to set something up
Sets
here
up
for
second and
trying to get the Barons defense to draw inside and stay wide. So they're looking like that, really covering that really low single high shell here.
up the middle for Thibodeau.
Yeah,
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau up the middle there. Coach, I think what's happening is they're just emptying out that B gap,
Taken
and they're
down by
daring
a
the
couple of
Korah
Barons.
run game to try and attack the B gap, but it's intentionally a trap because they're putting their best players in that C gap and just pinching down as the play gets contained inside. So far we've seen a lot of 54 Jacob McGill and 95 Wyatt Grant be the ones who are just eating up those plays as they fall for that bait. I think it's the Barons defense that's the one setting the trap here.
Yeah, so it's 3rd and 1, and Korah's going for it. They got Zane Murdoch under center, and we're going to find out whether they're going to run it or the run is to Thibodeau, and he easily gains the first down and a couple extras.
Korah
So
goes for it.
a little bit of a gamble early here. It pays off for the Korah Colts on a first down.
Thibodeau with a good hard run.
Yeah, and Korah is going to be Korah. They're not going to abandon their philosophy because you have a couple of playmakers who are on fire early on. They're going to test your resolve and make you stop them for 4 quarters doing this. Coach Tom Annett's philosophy is the wing tee is our philosophy. Whether it's working or not, you stick to it. Everything about this team is embedded into that philosophy, so you'll see them really test the mettle of this defense today.
Looks like Korah with a little bit of a late substitution. Thibodeau needing a little bit of a blow. AJ Cachamilo coming on to replace Thibodeau in the backfield. See Murdoch under center. Crisscross here from Nathan Gazzetti to earlier mentioned Ethan Carchidi with a strong run for about 7 yards.
Ethan Carchidi.
Yeah, and that's going to be the play where you see him a lot out of that W position. It's going to be designed to kind of punish you for your flowing linebackers. And on that play. Great job by
Campanella with the
Algonquin, still
tackle.
staying home, being committed to their assignments. Unfortunately, that play is so effective that even when everyone does their job, you can still get a 7-yard gain out of it.
So Zane Murdoch back under center. Minute 44 to go here in the first quarter. Quick pitch out to Nathan Gazzetti. Wrapped up. A little bit of a horse collar there, but referee Ewell choosing not to call that one. Maybe
Close
he had it
to
on the
first
numbers.
down
But
yardage
he got awful close. He might be
for Gazzetti.
got to be close to a first down, or maybe even.
And overall, the Barons have done a really, really great job on their commitment to contain Gazzetti. And I mean, containing Gazzetti is still going to be 5, 6, 7 yards a carry
Tackle
usually.
by
But
Wesley
thus far, they're not
Straight.
letting him get to the second level
For
and
the
break
Barons?
off big plays. Their single and solo tackling has really started to shine here.
That'll be
early on in
first
the
and
game.
10 for your Colts.
Well, if I'm the defending defense right now, I'm watching. We're on the. They've been running this here to the boundary side, and the field side is going to get wide open here very shortly. But they've got a whole bunch of people down in the box here, so. Nathan Gazzetti with another strong run, able to get about 6.5, 7
Gazzetti for 5
yards.
or 6 yards.
Well, I'm not going to be surprised if number 54, Jacob McGill, ends this game with 15 tackles. He has just been everywhere trying to shut down this interior run game. And I really do think that it's been an intentional
Jacob
game plan
McGill again with the
to have
tackle.
him on an
Good
in-looking
solid
angle
6-yard
from the
rush. That's our
outside
second and 4
C gap.
for
Because it
Murdoch
really
and
is
his
designed to
Colts.
try and pinch everything in and let these elite tacklers just clean everything up.
I'll tell you, if they leak somebody out here, this Algonquin team is all on the line. If anybody gets able to get in behind, there's going to be. Oh, I just had a quick whistle by referee Corelli. Not too sure. It looked like maybe somebody was on the line, wasn't set up, and he was trying to give them a warning.
And that cover zero's getting real shallow there, Coach. You might see play action here. No, we're going to go up the middle again.
Thibodeau looked like he's short on this one by about a yard, so it'll be
before being brought down.
third down and 1, and I'd be pretty confident to say they're going to go for it. So
Matthew Seguin with the tackle.
this will be the last play, barring a penalty
Be
of
the
the
last play of
first
the first
quarter.
quarter.
Looks like their cadence was able to break them free, and Nathan Gazzetti with another strong
Gazzetti
run
gets the first down and
down
then
to
some.
the Algonquin 27-yard line. So able to get it in the middle.
Very
We've got a
shortly,
player
but
down,
they've got a
and it
whole
looks like
bunch of
we're going to
people down
send
in the
this one
box
to
here, so
the booth for a brief Nathan
sponsors
Gazzetti with
final.
another strong run,
Number
able to get
13.
about 6.5, 7
Gazzetti for 5 or
yards.
6 yards.
Well, I'm not going to be surprised if number 54, Jacob McGill, ends this game with 15 tackles.
Very shortly, but they're.
From your Korah Colts.
Okay,
Jesse
folks, we're back
Corella.
here. Looked like number 7, Max Dufresne, was able to get up on his own power, so didn't look too worse for wear. Just an early bruise here, but Korah now threatening on the Barons' 27-yard line. Starting to get their run game going. Still
Gazzetti
running.
with another decent run. Ladies and gentlemen,
Looks
the
like
Steelers.
Nathan Gazzetti
your
got
Sioux
about a
Steelers,
7-yard
Sabercats,
penalty,
Sault
a
Ste.
7-yard
Marie
run on
High
that one.
School
Yeah,
football.
boy, coach. And then now you have
We all
another one of their stars
congratulate
who's a two-way
these boys
player,
and what
Matthew
they've done.
Desbian, stepping up, making a play. We talked about it on our little break there. But you got to give
And don't
these
forget,
Barons
the
some
CJFL
great
is the
credit
same league that
when it comes to
Paul
how well
Rossetti
coached
and
they
your
are
Sioux
at
College
tackling.
Cougars
They are really making
will
Korah
have
work
their
for this. There's no
inaugural season
breakout
next
plays
year.
that are results of bad
It's
tackling or anything like that.
absolutely great football,
They are making
and it's
Korah
great to
earn
come
points today.
to Sioux College. So once again, congratulations to all those boys.
So Zane Murdoch under center. Hand off to Thibodeau up the middle. Rumbling up for about 3 or 4 yards. Looks like he's going to be just shy of the first down marker. So it'll be
2 yards
third
for
and
Thibodeau
about
before
2.
he's being taken down.
And I'm pretty confident Coach Annett's going to have them going for this one. Coach Hankinson setting in the play.
Jacob Dubois with the
Well, it
tackle.
doesn't look like they had specials ready to go on the sideline, so they were thinking 4 or 3 down football here the whole way at this point.
Whenever they're on this side of the field, and it's pretty confident. If the yardage is short, they're going. So looks like it's going to be 3rd and 2. Nathan Gazzetti with the carry.
Oh,
Not sure that he got
Gazzetti
there, but
trying
there
to
is
get
a
around
flag
the
on the
corner.
play.
He's stopped. We do
I
have
hope it's
flag
not a
on the
late
play.
shove there because I saw someone topple over at the very end of that play, and if you're on the Barons defense and that's what this ends up being, that's going to be frustrating because I think there's a chance they have them stopped here.
It looks like referee Corelli had a hold there, so I'm not sure, but that's kind of look like the signal. He's on the far side of the field there, so no, it's a rough play, face mask against the
That's a-
Barons,
that's
so
a
that's
face mask
gonna
call again.
it's really gonna hurt them there. It's gonna
Algonquin?
give Korah the first down and some extra 15-yard freebie.
No, that hurts big time. The Barons made a big stop. Korah went for a big gamble, and this defense
That'll
stepped
back
up and
them
answered
right
the
up
bell. And
deep in their own
unfortunately,
territory.
Get your hand in the wrong place when you're going to make a tackle, and now it's on your doorstep. You're 1 yard away from giving up the first points of this game. Sorry, looks like maybe 3 or 4 yards. It's hard to tell from this angle.
Looks like the 3-yard line from my vantage point. And a timeout here, so I'm not sure who called it, but looks like a timeout Korah. Coach Hankinson
Timeout
and Coach
call.
Annett onto the field. They weren't.
Reminder, the concessions are open.
Looks like Korah's bringing out like a jumbo package here. If I had to, based on the 3 guys that just ran onto the field, so.
Never mind. Apparently they're not.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate the Barons find themselves in this situation because they've really been such a strong standing defense here so far in this game. But, a couple of plays make a big difference. That one big run there earlier in the play. But overall, their commitment to shutting down Nathan Gazzetti has been pretty impressive so far. He's still getting positive yards, but he's not doing what we normally see him do here in this loop. So that's the big difference there. Now, the real thing is if the Barons give up points here, how do they respond? Because against this Korah defense, it's hard to come back against them because they're so good at running down the clock, keeping your offense off the field, taking away your momentum and your feel for the game. So we'll see if the Barons respond in kind and this defense stays as determined to be rough and fight it out with this Korah offense.
Yeah, you know what, Coach Hankinson and obviously Coach Annett are kind of a couple of the most knowledgeable offensive guys here today, and they're Algonquin's really crowding that line, and they have everybody down on the line, and their the cover one that they're playing is he's almost at a linebacker spot where he is. So looks like Korah's got their Wildcat formation out here with Thibodeau at quarterback. Zane Murdoch went off, and they got some extra beef here on the line. So Nathan Gazzetti with the snap. And looks like he got maybe
Nice
2
snap to
yards.
Gazzetti. He does well to corral
Yeah,
it.
and to your point with them,
Get maybe a yard.
with the way the Barons defense is lining up, and you're just waiting for the shoe to drop with this Korah offense because they have a great play action system in that offense as well.
Matthew
It's like
Devian.
Korah's holding their water and just, somebody's telling them to
Jacob
hold,
McGill
wait,
with the
just don't pull the
stop.
trigger just yet. Make the
Second
Barons
and
prove they
goal
can stop it first
for
before
your
you go
Colts.
using that part of your playbook.
Yeah, so Korah again in that Wildcat formation. And Nathan Gazzetti
Direct
in for the
snap to
touchdown.
Gazzetti. Touchdown, Korah!
Well, Coach, this is limiting Nathan Gazzetti. This is the most limited performance we've seen of him so far this year, and yet he's still probably averaging 5 yards a carry and has a touchdown here in the first quarter. So definitely kudos to the Barons, and you hope that this player who's down isn't one of their main ones here. But
Yeah, we have a quick injury here, folks. We're going to send it to the booth for a sponsor's timeout.
just don't pull the trigger just yet. make the
Second
Barons
and
prove they can
goal
stop it first
for
before
your
you go
Colts.
using that part of your playbook.
Yeah, so Korah again in that Wildcat formation. And Nathan Gazzetti in
Direct
for the
snap to
touchdown.
Gazzetti. Touchdown!
Just don't pull the
Stop.
trigger.
So it looks like the player for looked like Matthew Segun was down and able to walk off. Looks like potentially a little bit of a hip pointer based on where he's putting the pressure on his legs. So Korah with the extra point try, and Koski pounds it through the end zone onto the track, and Korah up to a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, well, if you're the Barons now, you're looking at your offense and you're trying to fire them up and get them back into this game because they've spent so much time sitting and watching this game unfold without them. And for a quarterback who was pretty unflappable in the North Bay Loop this year, I'm sure that they had a lot of comfort in the knowledge that they were going to be the team on the field more often than not. It's not been the case here today, so you're going to wonder how the Barons' offense responds, how Dane Mayer responds. He seemed to start like he was focused on attacking those middle depth plays there in that last drive. We'll see if they continue with that strategy.
Yeah, it's going to be up to offensive coordinator Nick Shank to get his team rolling. But you know what? I credit the Algonquin Barons defense here. That's probably one of the toughest defenses Korah has seen so far early in a game like this.
I would certainly say the best tackling team we've seen here in the Sioux this year.
Yeah, so they're really crowding that line and making things difficult for the Korah team. So just a quick shout out to Dylan Monaco today, playing down for Bishops in the I believe it's the UTEC Bowl.
UTEC Bowl, yep.
So shout out to him. And looks like AJ Cachemile will be doing the kickoff duties. And we'll see if they come up with some shenanigans with Coach Caldbeck, or they pound the ball deep and force the Barons to run. So, in fact, it is deep. Looks like it's going to be fielded by number 24, who dropped it and picked it up. He's got a good run going here.
Oh, what a cut.
Open field. Fantastic run.
It,
right. Semtana.
Makes a terrific run, gets cleared out across
he got out across the 41-yard line.
35 to the 36-yard line
great run back.
Taken down. First down,
especially for dropping the ball when he caught it.
Oh, yeah, he definitely, you can tell
Ethan
by that
Carbone
cutback that he's a weapon
with the
there on
stop for
specials for
Korah.
them. I believe he operates as a do we see him as a running back too at one point?
We did,
yeah,
for sure.
so he's definitely going to be one of their weapons that
First
we're going
and
to look
10,
for
Algonquin.
later in this game too. But what a great cut and what confidence to run through those last two tackles and get an extra 5 yards.
So, quarterback Dane Meyer back in the gun. Quick pass out to number 32 for the Barons, Matthew Desbian, and it happens to be the head coach's son.
Pass is complete, number 32, Matthew Debian.
Yeah, good job. Get a couple of chunk plays to start that
Mitchell,
offensive
Commissar with
series.
the stop.
Again, I don't know if the screens are necessarily something I'm going to
for
do
2
too
yards.
much of against Courage because they do close and tackle so well.
Second
But I like that
and
they're
8
starting to
for
attack
the
those
Barons.
flats and trying to get those in-breaking routes earlier in the game too.
So it looks like they're going to a 2-by-2 set here. Quarterback back to pass. He's got time to throw. And threw it over the top of his intended receiver, Matthew Berube. And it's going to
Pass
be third
falls
down.
incomplete. Intended for number 17.
Yeah, and it looks like
Matthew
he got tangled
Berube.
up in that one there too, so maybe a good chance for us to fire it back to our sponsors here, Coach.
Well, folks, it looks like Matthew Berube was able to get off. Looks like a little bit of an ankle injury. He ran into number 1 for the Korah Colts, Ethan Karkidi, and now they're going to be forced to punt here. So looks like one of their do-it-alls, Ryan Santana, is back deep. They're trying to run a hot guy. And it looks like it's being intentionally kicked out of bounds again. So should be
Short kick right out of bounds. No chance for a
referee
return.
Chow getting ready to spot it here.
And yeah, again, kicking your punts out of bounds like that intentionally, sometimes you're not going to have great field position coming out of it, but it's a lot better than giving Nathan Gazzetti the ball with no one standing around him for 10 yards. So
1st and 10.
Yeah, so it looks
Korah,
like
just past midfield.
looks like it's going to be on the Algonquin 52 to start this series.
we'll see if Korah starts to open it up here. You can really see that they're restraining themselves, really not getting into that play action system just yet. They're really forcing the Barons to keep creeping up more and more and challenge them to give them that over top. And so far, we haven't seen Korah quite take it yet, but you know that they're going to at some point.
You know that there's a pass coming eventually here. So, and here it is. Zane Murdoch rolls out. He's got a wide open Nathan Hyam and a great defensive play there by number 10 for
Murdoch
the
looking
Barons,
downfield.
Sam
Bounce is
Comu.
broken up by number 10.
Yeah,
Sam
great
Coleman.
focus and great concentration by
flag
this
on the play.
defense. Their coaching staff, no doubt, was telling them the whole time, yeah, we haven't seen them go to the play game yet, but don't fall asleep. Stay aware, know who your assignment is. Great job by Sam Como on that one.
Well,
at some
looks like
point.
referee Maniac
You know that
was,
there's a pass
threw a
coming
flag on the play,
eventually,
and he's giving he's either doing the Macarena or he's giving him a bunch of signals there. Not too sure, but looked like he had a block in the back with potentially something else. I don't know what his signals were.
Pass interference against Algonquin.
So pass interference is being charged against the Algonquin Barons, and it's going to move the ball up.
15-yard penalty, first down.
15-yard penalty, so costly defensive play got them giving Korah some more free field position here, John.
Yeah, and thus far that's been the biggest thing that's holding this Barons defense back has been the free yards they've been giving up through the penalties. And again, another great defensive play ruined by a penalty at the back end of it, and Korah has really good field position here with the first down.
Well, they got a problem out there on the flat side, John, on the far side of the field. There's 3 Korah receivers and only 2 backs. Somebody's got to be open over there. Great defensive
Pass
play.
intended for Koski.
Zane
Broken
Murdoch
up.
chose to go to the wrong receiver.
Excellent play by Matthew
Looked like he was
David,
trying
number
to get
32.
the ball to Koski and unable to bring that one in. And
Second
great
and 10.
defensive play there, but he had 3 people mismatched over there against 2. And he tried to get it out to the flat, and that was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, I think that's going to challenge you with preparing for this Korah coaching staff is they have like 7 or 9 packages that they managed to get installed this season. And unfortunately, when you're trying to take away the bread and butter from Korah, sometimes they're going to come out with some exotic looks that you really just don't spend time preparing for during the week.
Oh, another
God.
terrific
Pass
play
intended for
by
Hyam.
the
Another beautiful
Algonquin
play,
Barons
20.
there.
7.
Number
Jack Ogletree.
27, Jack. Looks like Jack Ogletree
Knocks
was
the ball in
the
harm's way.
defender. He
That'll set
hit
up
Nathan
3rd
Hyam,
and
and
10.
you know, had he led him a little bit further, I think that pass would have got in there. Hyam had to slow down for that, but Korah trying to spread the ball around here and get some of those defenders off of the center of the ball. So look for that to set up a big run here in the near future, but Korah is going to be forced to punt here.
Well, I think the Barons are happy if you keep spreading it out that way because they're starting to play in a land that they are aware of and that they're familiar with. They're very accustomed to playing against teams that play the spread. They play it in practice every day, so those DBs feel more at home when you start to throw it around like that and start to go for the deep shots. And their speed on closeouts are doing
all the way back.
really impressive things.
So Nixon Blair back to punt. Got the ball off a short punt. And
Short kick's going to go right out of
that's
bounds.
only going to be about a 10-yard penalty, 10-yard advantage. So Nixon Blair off to a rough start here. Typically, he's able to pound them out pretty good. And it's going to be Algonquin with some field position right around their own 30-yard line. So 7:24 to go, 7-0 Korah versus the Algonquin Barons from North Bay.
Yeah, and Algonquin has to be happy with that. Korah came out with a different package series that time, tried out some things to see and test what the Algonquin
So
defense is
they're marking out of
capable of
bounds
in
at the
coverage,
30.
and they stood the test. So next time we see Korah's offense out there, it'll be
First
curious
and
to
10
see how they
Barons.
adjust themselves. I'm thinking personally, Coach, I'm spending more time in the play action off of that traditional wing tee because that's what's getting that defense to creep up.
I would agree, but there's always a method for Coach
There's
Hankinson.
something there, yeah. He's testing something.
So a quick handoff here by Meyer to number 3, Connor Philotru.
And off number 3,
Yeah,
Connor
just so many
Fletcher.
talented weapons on this Korah defense. I look at this defense and I
Stopped for
think
about a
for
2-yard
the last
loss.
5 years, this is an all-star team. I mean, they have so many ball
Cohen
hawks in their
Mansell,
secondary.
first one there, a little bit of help
Right
from a
now,
couple
I
of
guess the
others.
most thing that
Sets
you're
up
not
second and
accustomed to
12.
seeing is maybe Caleb Thibodeau playing middle linebacker, but he has quite a bit still this year at the same time. So that D-line, though, for Korah is always going to be an issue, no matter who you are as an O-line.
So Algonquin back from the gun. Oh, and it's whistled down early. Looks like a timeout for Algonquin.
Timeout called.
Head coach
6:37
Desbian must
remaining
have
in
saw
half.
something, so we're going to send that up to the booth for our sponsors. Okay, after that brief timeout, folks, we are at third and about 11 and a half, third and 12 for the Algonquin Barons on second and 12 yards here.
Second down for Algonquin.
Back to pass, and that's overthrown. And Nathan Hyam had a hand on it. Had he stuck two out there, he might have been able to reel that one in. But now it's going to force the Barons back into a third down punt situation.
That's going to be third down.
Yeah, and anytime you're throwing back there, like I said, Nathan Hyam was a junior quarterback. He has a really good IQ for what the quarterback's trying to do with the way he looks off safeties, with the way that he's trying to set up route patterns. So he's going to be a difficult person to trick out there when he's the high safety. And on that one, floated the ball a little bit too much. And like you said, maybe if Nathan was able to get two hands on that ball, that ends up another interception. But there's a good chance here the Barons are going to kick it out of bounds, and it's going to be better field position than had he caught it anyways.
But they definitely want to make sure they're getting it out of bounds, because if they kick it over here, you never know what could happen when Nathan Gazzetti gets the ball. So
yeah, and they've put Nathan on the field side of punts now too.
Not even close.
Oh. And no penalty called on running into the punter.
No, because it was their own punter. There was their own player that ran into
it. Lucky souvenir for a fan.
Looked like Aiden Wanch was rushing against number 45, and he pushed his own quarterback, his own player back into the kicker. So we're going to take it. We've got another injury here, folks. We're going to send it back to the booth. Well, for the Algonquin Barons, Ryan Santana is up and walking off. Looks like he ran into one of the Korah players was rushing, and he got into their fullback, number 45, and pushed his player right into the kicker. So that is illegal play. So, however, it just didn't work out. But he did get off, and hope to see that young man back on the field shortly. Now with that poor kick, Korah's going to take over on the Algonquin Barons 30. And threatening here with 6:15 to go in the first half.
Back in shotgun with Zane Murdoch.
Hand off to Nathan Gazzetti, and you're not catching him. There's the touchdown. You knew it was just a matter of time, JB. And
30 yards
that hole was big
house.
enough. I think I could have ran through it. So.
Well, you had mentioned in our previous set there that, Coach Hankinson's testing something and he's just waiting for it. And I think what he was waiting for was for Algonquin to adjust to them having extra men out in space to get that one extra person out of the box, because I think that one extra person was helping Algonquin clog that front seven area. And that one extra person out of the box seems to work, because now you give Gazzetti more space to work with too, right?
Yeah, 100%. And, it's going to be up to the Algonquin Barons here to see if they can get their offense rolling. But right now we have Koski on for the extra kick and Hyam to hold. So the kick is up and good. So 14-0 for your Korah Colts.
Koski's kid is up.
6:04 to go.
Yeah, great little game of chess there between two great coordinators early on. This defense definitely came well prepared, but as I mentioned, Korah has so many different looks and ways they can come at you as an offense, and I would guess that they have 7 or 8 packages that I've seen this season, if not more. So the problem is when you prepare for Korah, you can prepare for the packages that they use on a consistent basis, but when they start to get into those more exotic looks that you maybe don't have all the time in the world to get ready for, that's where they really start to poke and prod and find where your weakness is on your defensive side.
Yeah, 100%. And, I don't know, John, but I'm sensing a bit of a momentum change here. Korah seems to getting settling in. It's not acting like they've been here before. And for some of these players they have, obviously St. Mary's had a dominant team last year that went on to play the NOSSA Final. But now today it's Korah's turn, and they're off to a front start here. But I just see the tide of momentum changing, and the demeanor of the Algonquin Barons doesn't seem to be as high as it was in the first quarter. And it's going to be up to their head coach, Ryan Desbian, to, get his team rolling again and pep talk and get that offense rolling. And offensive coordinator Nick Schenk's got to come up with something against this Korah defense. So.
Yeah, and it can be a test of character when you're a player who prepares all week to try and stop Korah in a certain way, and they find a way to punch through it still. And now it's just a matter of these young men realizing that they've won a lot of football games this year to come together and make adjustments, try to fight their way back into the scoreline.
Looks like Flatfield.
So the kick is deep. Koski kicks it all the way down to about the 10-yard line. And number 3 is running it back for the Algonquin Barons with a good, hard, strong run by Connor Phillips.
Right up the middle, drops the shoulder after initial contact.
Got him right out to about the 30-yard line.
4 yards after that, and they're going to mark it somewhere around 30.
Good hard run by Filiatro there. So far, I've liked the intensity on special teams from the Barons. This Korah coverage team has just been really, really sound so far today. Getting downfield fast. Maybe giving up a lane here or two, but closing in when they do. So
yeah, they run the ball really hard. They put their shoulders down. They protect the ball with 2 hands, and they you try and pound through and make them earn that tackle. So
yeah, you can tell the athletes are there on the Algonquin side.
Yeah. So Dane Meyer back from the gun. 1st and 10 from their own 30. Quick pass here.
Fire pass.
To nice 5-yard pass there to number 4.
Shillington.
Owen Shillington.
Yeah, and if you can efficiently just do little things like that, slant routes, hooks, sit routes, things like that, to just poke holes in the soft coverage underneath, for Korah, they're going to play that shell against you a lot. They're going to make sure their DBs are keeping their eyes on your quarterback, always facing towards the offensive line. So they do a really good job of making sure that everything stays in that little pocket that they create. But there's going to be opportunities in the pass game because of it.
Yeah, so Meyer back in the gun again. Quick pass out again here now.
Nice little hook.
To number 32.
Nice little pass out to the edge.
That's the script. Yeah, that's the script right there, Coach. Just chunk plays. It's 3-down football. You're trying to get 5, 6, 7 yards every play. Quick little in-breaking routes, hooks, sits in those soft zones.
Well, John, we talked about that. They were throwing those little 2-yard hitches, and those weren't. That's not what you need to do in 3-down football. You need to get 5, and then 5 is 10, and that's your first down. So you got to give your team an opportunity to break a tackle or two, and get out in open space. So looks like they're flooding the far side of the field. Quarterback back to pass, and he's picked off again by number 25, Turner Dickinson.
Pass is picked off.
I keep coming back to it. The deep thirds are a dangerous place to go to with the ball against this Korah
Comes down with
defense.
it for the Colts.
They have
First
ball
and
hawks at
10
every position.
Colts.
You have Hyam, you have Carbone, Carkidi, the Dickinson brothers. You have Cam Williamson who rolls in there sometimes. Just a ton of players that love to undercut overthrows and underthrows in the deep thirds. So it's just a dangerous place to try and attack this Korah defense is near the safeties. It's just not going to work usually.
You know that 17-0, no interceptions in the North Bay Loop over there. It came to a quick halt here early today, and unfortunate for the Barons, but they're giving Korah the ball again now with lots of time on the clock to try and add to their lead. So, Zane Murdoch from the gun. Handoff to Peyton Malcurie. First time we've seen Peyton. Good for about 2 yards. Nice strong tackle there by Austin Ouimet. And
13
number
Austin Ouimet with the
54,
tackle. Gets a little help.
Jacob McGill. So
Yeah,
Well,
now
Fury
you're really
does
starting
well
to
to
see
get
this
back to the
Korah
line of
offensive
scrimmage,
line
maybe
feel
get a
themselves
yard.
here. Like this wasn't a giant game-breaking play or anything like that, but number 60, Spencer Hedrick, coming around on the end, pulling around the end, and just absolutely laying lumber on these DBs sitting out in space. So Korah's O-line starting to look aggressive here now in the second quarter too.
So again, they got that trip look on the far side, and their linebackers shading towards the line. So I would look potentially for something out here in the flats. Well, we floated that one up, and it's picked off. Fantastic pick
Murdoch's
there
pass is picked off. Right
by
back
number
to
32, Ryan
Algonquin,
Desbian for
32.
the Algonquin
Matthew
Barons.
Desbian comes down with it.
Well, we were
Versus
talking about it.
Algonquin.
You can tell there are athletes on this Barons team, and especially in their secondary. They were tested a couple of times earlier here in this first half, and they stood strong. They closed quickly. They got big athletes who will go out there and attack the ball at the high point. So same thing goes back towards the Korah side. Maybe not the team that you want to be attacking in the deep thirds. Try to focus on those under to intermediate routes.
No, but I think what Coach Hankins is trying to do is, keep them honest and having to cover that. But that definitely wasn't a great pass by Murdoch. That was off the side of his hand, and I'm sure he wants that one back and an opportunity to do that again. So
For sure, but 4 times I've seen this defense get to that ball quicker than the ball can arrive to the player.
a little bit of a wildcat here, folks. Number 32, it looked like the ball was direct snap too, and he's able to gain about 12
32,
yards.
Damian.
So fantastic start on this series
Good for
the
about 17
Algonquin
yards and a
Barons.
first down.
Yeah, my concern on the Korah side is I'm just not sure they're able to get the ball there with enough zip to really
Ethan
attack
Carchidi.
these DBs and the safety that's over there.
With
Because
the tackle.
there's some impressive
That's a
athletes over
3-minute
there on
warning.
that backside of that defense so far.
John, I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen their quarterback out there, so it looks like they're doing a little bit of a different series here.
Oh, yeah,
It's
you're
like
right.
a bit of a wildcat. So with
a power run, Cat. I like it.
looks like Desbian getting to the outside and enough to get a first down here. So a couple of really strong runs by
Desbian again gets to the outside.
Desbian,
Pushed out of bounds
and,
by Dickinson, I believe.
they're going to be first down from the Korah side of the field at the 54.
Good enough for 10
So
yards and a first down.
something that I'm betting that Korah has been prepared for, but we haven't seen it yet, and it seems to be getting some traction. But as quick as we say that, they have their quarterback back out in the field, Dane Meyer. So
Well, I like to see that they have the ability to put out different looks and packages, too, though. They came prepared to try and shake things up.
I'll tell you, though, if I'm them, I'm staying in that right now. It was working really well.
Make Korah prove they can stop it, right?
I'm a big believer in what if it's working, keep it working. So Korah going to a zero coverage look here. Quick flare out, and that was looked like to be almost a backwards pass. Well, I'd like to see that one on the review again, JB, because that was really close to being a backwards pass.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, those screen passes, they're just going to be tough to get anything going against this Korah defense. They're so good at cutting under that block when they see it coming,
Sets up
closing
second
in as
down
a
after the
team.
incomplete pass.
They have assignments that they've been given. They know how to close in on that stuff that's behind the line of scrimmage. So maybe not something that's going to be there that you want to test later either.
Well, they had somebody run off the field. I didn't see somebody else come in. And in fact, looks like Algonquin's going to be calling a timeout here, so we're going to send it to the booth.
Looks like we got.
Well, it looked like they had run a player off for the Algonquin Barons. They didn't have a sub ready, so Coach Desbian elected to call a timeout here and try and save some of this momentum that they built up with 2:31 to go, trying to get their egg off the scoreboard. And
A lot of tight ends and fullbacks in here, Coach.
yeah, this is a little bit of a different setup for them, but under center, Dane Meyer running a passing route, trying to catch Desbian. And there's a fight for the ball here.
We got a jump ball.
That looks like the Korah player was able to hold on to it, and him and Desbian, it looked like number 14 for Korah, Ethan Carbone. And
Intercepted. I believe that was 14, Ethan Carbone.
they were trying to get Desbian out in space, and
After the jump ball.
that's another pick for quarterback Meyer. And man,
Well, you know, like they went total max coverage on that, Coach. They sent one player downfield as an eligible receiver, and it was Desbian, and it was just trying to put a one-on-one jump ball situation out there for what they believe is their best player, and we don't know him as well. I'm sure that's why they did that. They had that much confidence in him, but, you know, it was enough of a jump ball where Korah's athlete was able to go up and contend too, and they're the ones who ended up coming down with it.
yeah, you know what? This is setting up for one of those long Nathan Gazzetti touchdowns very shortly here. Quick pass over the middle to Ethan Carkidi
Pass
for
over
first
to
down.
Carchidi. It's complete tackle by number 8, Liam Cosgrove.
Well, and a good thing that he went to jump up for that ball because the tackle
Picking up
was
for
coming
11
in low
yards.
too,
The
and he ends up
first
landing
down,
right
Korah.
over top of it. So cool little looking play there for Carcadi. I'm sure he'll go and find that one on YouTube later and clip it.
Yeah, you know what? That was a lot better toss there by Zane Murdoch. So that's the ball that he needs to start throwing. So, but it's Korah's ball here on the 39-yard line, first down. And handoff to Nathan Gazzetti.
Oh, this is trouble.
And he's running upfield, and he's just about to break free. And they're really going to have to run to catch him.
Gazzetti with the touchdown. Korah.
Nathan Gazzetti, and I called it. I said it was coming.
71
and,
yards.
That's
to
a
the
backbreaker for the first half here for the
Dodging every
Algonquin
Baron
Barons.
came up
And
on him.
Nathan just he utilized his speed and just kept pawing, and they had a couple of hands on and just weren't able to bring him in. And those are the ones we're used to seeing. And the Algonquin Barons just got a glimpse.
Yeah, and to those of us that are local, we've seen this script all year long, and it's just let Nathan break this game open and make it a blowout. But, you know, the reality is, too, you look at him, he doesn't look giant. He's not the biggest running back ever. So sometimes it can be deceptive when he gets into space. You think you can just ankle tackle him or hang on to him, drag him down, or, you know, hold him long enough for a teammate to get there. But he runs
He's
through
getting
arm
up and
tackles,
good.
too. He runs low to the ground. He doesn't change speed while he changes direction. Possibly one of, if not the best running backs in the league if you're watching for the first time here today. And unfortunately, North Bay became the victim of the don't let Nathan Gazzetti get to the second level rule.
Yeah, you know what? He spent a lot of time in the gym over the summer and working on his upper body strength because he had the leg speed already, and he was able to run through a couple of tackles there and looked like Algonquin was going to get to him, and he had Austin Ouimet trying to catch him, and Nathan just shifted another gear, and he was able to go. And I knew it was coming. I just sensed it. I've been watching Korah a long time, as you well know, being a former coach over there, and I coached Nathan. You know, he is a game changer, as we well know, and for you folks tuning in from the North Bay, potentially 100% the fastest kid in Sault Ste. Marie and at the provincial level as well.
Yeah,
so.
Ever in Sault Ste. Marie. Shattered Alonzo Clark's record, who football fans in North Bay would know too. So, like I think he was the 11th fastest grade 10 in the country. His grade 10 year, grade 11, he made it to the OFSA semifinals, which is just insane for a Northern Ontario track star to be making it that far, that young. So we'll see what he can do this year too. But yeah, if you're Ouimet or you're anyone from North Bay who, felt like maybe there was a lack of effort there at the end, the fact that it was even close to catching Nathan Gazzetti makes it one of the fastest plays of the season.
Yeah, 100%. So now we're going to see Coach Kolbick's special teams here, see if he's got any shenanigans up his sleeve. But if I'm them, I'm kicking the ball and forcing them to run the field here. And you got a 21-0 lead and maybe force them to give you the ball back. So Cochamilio with an out pass here. Kick fielded by the Algonquin Barons right around the 27-yard line.
Up on the one hopper, gets all the way out to about the 29-yard line.
Looked like number 17 earlier injured. Matthew Barouet back with a fairly significant run here, and the Algonquin Barons are going to take over at their own 29-yard line.
Yeah, and now if you're the coaching staff and if you're the quarterback over on the Barons side, it's, just let your game come out now. Don't worry about being perfect. Take some chances at some crossing routes. Run some plays that maybe you don't normally use that you have in the back pocket. There's nothing really to lose here at this point. Not saying to just start throwing to the deep thirds and creating a bunch of jump ball situations, but definitely be a little bit more expressive with your play calling and not be so reserved.
Yeah, you know what? But they got to be methodical about their passing. They had a little bit of momentum building there with those 5-yard passes, and then they tried to
started
go deep.
Going deep again, yeah.
So Meyer under some adversity, and that looked like a bit of a horse collar in my opinion.
Scrambling.
So Aiden
Looks like he's trying against number 4, Shillington, but we do have a couple flags on the
arguing with
flag.
referee Edwards, or having a conversation with him anyway. So it is a rough play. Horse collar against Korah, which I did call earlier. So it's going to be a free 15 yards for the Algonquin Barons, and that's a helpful 15 yards for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. You have 1:40 here left on the clock. The clock does stop after every play here in the final 3 minutes, so there's plenty of opportunity and chance to move the ball downfield if you can get something going on here.
So referee Fitzpatrick walking off the penalty marker.
That'll be a 15-yard penalty, an automatic first down for the Barons. 1:40 remaining in the half.
And I do like that number 2 Mayer's first couple of reads were intermediate routes. He's looking for those soft spots in the zone now. He's going through his progression, so we'll see if he can start to find his guys if he has time in the pocket.
Referee Edwards whistling the ball in for play. Quick pass here to number 34.
With 24?
24? Sorry, my bad.
Meyer
so
gets
number
it
24,
to number 24. Smetana.
Great pass there. Gained in about
Good
another
for 17 yards and a first down for the
almost
Barons.
20-yard play there.
Yeah, maybe the biggest chunk play we've seen from this offense here today. Smetana came across on a crossing route underneath the safeties, just above the linebackers. His quarterback able to hit him in stride, and he didn't break his speed, was able to get another 8-10 yards out of that after the catch.
So they're on the course side of the field from their 44, and it's a handoff to number 3, Connor Philitrew. Able to get about 4.5 there.
Across the 40, maybe? Tackled right at the 40?
Yeah, nice strong run. Some timeouts being used here, looks like maybe.
Hey, Nuance with the tackle for the Korah.
No, maybe just a Aaron whistle. But yeah, nice run play there. I don't mind it. You have time here. You're now in the Korah zone at around the 40-yard line. They're not expecting to run the ball at this point, so nice play call. You have plenty of time, like I said. Minute 13, 3-down football. Place clock stops after every whistle. So
Yeah, it looks like referee Maniaco threw a penalty, and it was a face mask. So this is
Oh,
going to be
wow,
another
that came in
15
late.
free yards. So
geez, that changes everything here if you're the Barons.
yeah, this is a pivotal point in the game for them here early in this first part of this game, and you know, they're down
That's
now
another
at the
face mask
Korah
penalty against the
25-yard
Colts.
line, and this is something they need to capitalize on. It.
They're going to spot the
I
ball
think
at
it's critical,
25,
John, that they get on the board here in this first
and
half,
that's going
have
to
some
be
momentum for the second half.
First
Yeah,
and 10
stick to that gain script.
for
Look for those
Algonquin.
in-breaking routes, those intermediate crossing routes. Korah's starting to walk people up. Might start setting some blitzes here soon, too.
There's a flag. Little pitch pass here.
Shovel pass to Debian. He gets across 20 before being running out of bounds.
Referee Ewell.
We do have a flag on the play.
Somebody must have been offside, so he didn't blow it dead as a procedure penalty, and it is. So unfortunately, a procedure penalty, and looks like quarterback Meyer owning that one. He's letting his coach know that it was him. So, and looks like we got a player down, so we're going to send it to the booth for a brief timeout. Okay, after that brief injury timeout, looks like we have the Algonquin Barons first down, and there was a offside or procedure penalty, so it'll be 1st and 15. Snap that he was unable to handle, and he kind of threw that one away on purpose, it looks like, because he saw that his
Meyer does
receiver
well,
was
gets rid
well
of it.
covered there. He had number 4, looked like, on the far side, Owen Shillington, looking for a pass, but well covered by the Korah defenders.
Yeah, unfortunately, he threw it close to the feet of his player, because I don't know if he threw that past the line of scrimmage there. So dangerous place to try and throw it at someone's feet. Maybe throw it at somebody standing behind that Korah bench there next time, just to be safe.
But that's a couple times now I've seen that snap come back, and it's a great snap, but he's just
Struggled to
unable to
handle it a
hold
bit,
on
yeah.
to it a little bit. So,
Yeah, I noticed that too, Coach. You're right.
so pivotal point in the game right now in this first half. Quick flare out to number 32, and a hitch pass. And I don't know that that was a forward pass.
I don't think that was a
We have
forward
a
pass,
flag
Coach.
on the play.
I was surprised to see that come out of the hands just because from our
Possibly
angle it
illegal
looked like
forward
an
pass.
obvious forward pass, and even worse, I thought it was snuffed out by the defense right away, to be honest. So really shocking to see that ball come out. So I think that you're right on that penalty call.
So we're going to have to wait for referee Edwards to get the signal from referee Maniaco, but I'm pretty sure that was an illegal forward pass. And that is definitely the call. So
Yeah.
he was not back behind
Legal
the line
forward
of
pass,
scrimmage.
that'll
So
back up.
Yeah, so those who don't know, maybe the
Algonquin.
rule book of Canadian
They were
football or
across the line of
football
scrimmage.
all too well, you can double throw a pass if the original pass was behind the original ball thrower.
Second
So
and 15.
say the quarterback throws it to his receiver from the 30-yard line to the 35-yard line, you can rethrow it. But if it's a forward pass the first attempt, you can't throw it again even though you're behind the line of scrimmage still.
and it's unfortunate because they did complete that pass, and that would have been down inside the 10-yard line. So
Yeah, I think it's a well-designed play idea. Unfortunately, Korah was able to put a lot of pressure on that play and force it to go awry.
yeah, so they're going for it on third down here in about 17 yards. I'm surprised they're not maybe potentially trying a kick here to get on the board with 53 seconds left to go, and then you don't want to give Korah the ball back here too far. So
There was a question from the sideline staff there for our linesmen, so they wanted to get some clarity for the sideline before they proceeded. It looks like everyone's good to go.
referee Edwards getting ready to blow it in for play with 53.9 seconds left to go here in the first half. Coach Desbian looking to go for it here on third down. And it's a little bit of a wobbly pass here and broken up.
Pass intended for
They
32.
were trying for Desbian again, and
I believe
it was
Matthew
knocked down
Devian.
with some coverage
Broken
there
up.
from number 25, Turner Dickinson, on this far side of the field, as long as number 31, Cam Williamson. So
Little brotherly love is both.
Yeah, I
Dickinson's
imagine they've
in on
had
that
some
stop.
success throwing it up to number 32 in the deep thirds this season because they seem pretty confident in doing so, and they've turned to that a few times. But, you know, this Korah secondary is probably a little bit different than anything that they ran into in North Bay this season. And, you know, this secondary that's impressed me all season long. They've faced some good quarterbacks this year. There are some good quarterbacks in this Sault Ste. Marie High School loop. And this deep connection there for this Korah defense has been fast. They've closed well. They don't give up a lot in the deep thirds at all.
yeah, so it's going to be Korah first and 10 from their own 32.
So after
And
the turnover on downs,
Algonquin's
it's
got to be
first
wary
down,
of the
Korah.
Nathan Gazzetti effect here. If he gets another open space, there's only one person high. They're running single high. And
This is trouble, too.
he just broke a few tackles
Hand
and
off to Gazzetti.
got the ball.
He gets a
Nathan
bunch
with
of good
about a
yards after contact.
22-yard run, so
Somewhere around 20 on the carry.
40.8
First
seconds
down,
here to go.
Korah.
And Korah building on that run game.
And this is the scary part about Korah. You give them the ball back in their own end with 40 seconds left. You think to yourself, well, just keep everything in front of you. But unfortunately, the biggest deep threat play
Korah
they
from
have
the
is just a
53
handoff
yard
to their
line.
running back.
So there's a handoff up the middle to Caleb Thibodeau.
Hand
And
off
he's
to
able to
Thibodeau. He
get about
rumbles for another first down.
11 yards there, so it's another first down, and that'll
Close
stop
to
the
the
clock.
45, 46-yard line.
We're going to
31 seconds left.
wow. Coach Wilkinson for the Algonquin Barons has to come up with something to stop this Korah run game, or they're going to get on the board again here
Yeah, I
in
think-
this first half.
I think they're out of timeouts, though, if I'm not mistaken, Coach. I don't know if they can do a whole lot of adjustments aside from just shouting them onto the field.
Yeah, there was a kind of a misdirection kind of play that good
Little miscommunication in
saving
the
tackle there
background.
by
Still ends
number
up in the hands of
52
Gazzetti.
for the
He does
Algonquin
well.
Barons, Matthew
You
Segan.
get about 8-9 yards out of that.
Yeah, a little Andy Reid shovel pass.
It looked like a bit of a strange turnover there in the middle of that, so I'm not sure what the extra whistle was for, but looks like Nathan Gazzetti was about 1.5 yards short. Algonquin with a late switch here.
9-yard gain sets up 2nd and 1. Korah Colts have
And
called
the
a
Korah
timeout.
Colts have called the timeout here with 21 seconds to go. We'll send it to the sponsor for a brief timeout. Okay, boss, we're good to go. Okay, we're live, folks. We're back here with 21 seconds to go. Korah with a brief timeout to get reorganized on offense after a couple of shuffling in players by the Algonquin Barons. Another handoff up the middle here to Caleb Thibodeau. Able to get the first down and then some. They're down to the 26-yard line roughly with 17.4
Thibodeau.
seconds to go.
Korah is the best coaching
gets
staff
to
I've
about
ever
the
seen
25, 26
at quit
yard line.
playing the run game when you're trying to conserve play clock. They practice this so often. They're so good at it.
Wyatt Grant
It's one of the things I'm very
Jacob
envious of, that
McGill
they're so
with
good at
the
preparing it
tackles.
as a coaching staff.
for the Barons.
And a handoff to Nathan Gazzetti up the middle.
Back to Gazzetti. He's hit by Jacob McGill after a few hard yards.
And there's a flag on the play, referee Corelli, indicating they're pointing at the Korah side of the field here, so not sure what the penalty was.
Do have a flag on the play somewhere on the 30-yard line.
Potentially a hold.
Well, we're getting close to this more and more looking like a field goal opportunity here for Korah, just with the time remaining on the clock. But with that being said, they do have a couple of players on that field who can turn this in one play.
So it must have been a procedure penalty because it was only 5 yards.
Then it'll back up Korah.
Looked like the defensive coordinator was pleading his case to referee Corelli, and he picked up on something. So
That'll be 1st and 15.
referee Corelli made a call right after that. So I'm not too sure, but
Back to Thibodeau. He's hit after a short gain, brought down
Yeah, and Coach Annett will bring
around
on
the
his
25.
field goal team here, it looks like. Some
Jacob
good special
Dubois,
teams
number
weapons
45,
here
with
for
the
this
tackle.
Korah Colts program as well. So
6 seconds
it's not a
remaining.
whole lot of areas you can point to and say they have any weak spots.
no, that's for sure. And Ty Koski, pretty accurate kicker here, and not to jinx him, but he's going to have his opportunity to get
Koski
some
to
points on the
attempt.
board here for Korah.
Field
This will
goal.
be the last play of the game, barring a penalty or of the first half. And the kick is up, and the kick is good.
Good.
So
30-yard field goal.
24-0 here for your Korah Colts, and there looks like there's going to see a flag here on the far side after. So I imagine that'll be in the second half. So we'll see you in about 10 minutes,
All
folks.
right,
We're gonna
folks, we're
send
going to
this
put
the
10,
booth
12
for
minutes on the clock. We're going to pause for halftime.
Welcome back, folks, to Superior Heights John Wayne Fieldhouse. John Wayne Fieldhouse here in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. For those tuning in, the Korah Colts are out to a commanding 24-0 lead. The Algonquin Barons have had their opportunities, just been having to put it all together here. So there was a penalty at the end of the first half. It was a 15-yard variety, so moved the ball up, and the Algonquin Barons will be kicking off from center field to the potentially very dangerous Nathan Gazzetti, and not to be outdone by his counterpart back there, Hunter Dickinson. So the ball's kicked off, and they kick it almost backward. Oh, not far enough, unfortunately. They tried a little trickery there. Not sure that I would have done the same thing here, John. I know you're trying to flip the field, but you had the ball at center field, and you're kicking it deep, forcing Korah to go the whole distance, and you try a little trickery.
Yeah, I think sometimes you default to that when you're playing from behind to start the second half. You're looking for some luck or some opportunity to get the ball back right away when you weren't expecting it. But, the Algonquin Barons offensively, when they're keeping the playbook, away from the deep thirds, they've been able to move the ball pretty well. Almost every one of their drives has come from trying to go deep with the passing game. And, they do a pretty decent job getting chunk plays on the ground. They've done a good job when it comes to the short to intermediate routes and hitting those. Their quarterback seems to be good with his footwork and timing in that aspect. It'll be first and 10, Korah. We'll see if they're patient with their comeback approach or if they try to get those plays back all at once. And if they do, Korah might take advantage.
So Korah here from their own 52. Quick handoff to Nathan Gazzetti to the outside.
Oh, that might be a block from behind.
And there's a penalty, so I would expect this to
making his way downfield, eventually run out of bounds by a couple of Barons. We do have a flag on the play.
I don't think.
52-yard line.
It was after the first down, though. It looks like
it's awful close. So
yeah.
So it was a block in the back, and referee Corelli is right at the 52-yard marker. So it was after the first down.
So that's a block in the back against Korah, but it was after the first down. So the ball
John, maybe you can help me out
bit,
here.
So
How far the ball come back here?
So from the spot of the ball, I think a block from behind is 10, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I've been mistaken on the official side of stuff quite a bit this year. Luckily, we've had Mr. Corelli.
So is this a spot foul? It looks like, based on what we're seeing, the long run's negated, and it's a spot foul. So
yeah, I think that they're supposed to give yards as a penalty on top of it here, I think, but
apparently not. So Zane Murdoch out for a quick throw, short to Ethan Karkidi.
I think that might have been overlooked.
Pass is incomplete, sets up second down.
We'll see if the football karma comes out on Algonquin's side here.
So, second down and 10 here for the Korah Colts. Quick flare over to the middle, and it was
looks like the ball
intended target was Ethan Karkidi was thrown behind him. So
intended for
Zane Murdoch not having his best throwing day, I got to say today, John.
Yeah, it looked like it on the way down. It looked like it got tipped, but was that just slipped out of his hand? You think there? I couldn't tell if it was knocked down at the line of scrimmage or not. But
I didn't really see. It just looked like it come out of his hand sideways again. It's like the old Statue of Liberty, hold it up, and not getting that thumb turned down to spin that ball. But I don't know.
For sure. And Zane's still grade 11 too. Still got time to grow in this offensive system. Coach Annett really trying to become two-dimensional very intentionally. So he's being patient with Zane, and he has time to because his run game and his defense is propping up the scoreline right now.
So punt is off by Nixon Blair. Overkicked at the number 7 for Max Dufresne. And he's trying to make something happen down there, but looks like he got about 3 or 4 yards, and the Algonquin Barons are going to start deep in their own end zone here with 11 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and we mentioned it earlier, and a great stop there to start this first half by the Barons, but
they're deep in Algonquin territory.
If they just don't fall in love with trying to take those deep third shots, their offense has actually moved the ball pretty well, but every one of their drives seems to stall when they start to attack the safeties and the deep DBs, and You know, their intermediate pass game's good. They have a good, talented quarterback. They seem to have some weapons who are good route runners. Even their run game hasn't been bad. Sprinkle that in. You know, it's 3-down football. There's plenty of football left on the clock. There's no rush here. There's no need to try and attack the safeties.
No, 100%, and they really got to get this offense rolling quickly here. Korah's just going to run the game out with that run game. So bad snap here.
Oh no!
And looked like it was an intended handoff to number
Watch
3,
snap.
Connor Philitrew, but the ball was fumbled between the exchange, and he was able to get on it, so
8-1.
saving them. But
Fortunate there, because it
Miguel
looked like for a
Bedard
second that Aiden Walsh was almost
with
maybe able
tackle
to get that
recovered by, I
ball,
believe
but
that was Palacio.
you know, Coach Desbian talked about it. He said whoever makes the fewest mistakes today is going to give themselves a good chance, and there's been a couple of those snaps and catches by the quarterback today that haven't been so sharp.
yeah, so it's looks like third and about 13 yards here for the Algonquin Barons. Back to pass. Trying to hit him on a quick slant there. Look like you got about 8 yards on the play,
Good
and it's
hard
going to
run.
set up the third and about 3 or 4 yards. So I would assume they're going to punt at this point.
I haven't seen a
3
mass sub
yards
yet,
and
though,
it'll set
have
up.
you?
Looks like 3rd and 2.
They're keeping their.
No, they're keeping their offense on the board. Looks like they're doing a little bit of gambling here. They may have seen something, but
Carbone with the tackle on Shillington after a good, beautiful
it's
hard
going to
run.
be 3rd and 3.
3rd and
Pivotal play here in
for
the
the
early
Barons.
third quarter, John. They're gambling here hard. So.
Yeah, and you know what? Korah only has 6 in the box. There might be something here for the run. Oh, they're starting to walk some DBs down. They audible out. Yeah.
Trying to catch Korah.
Trying to pull a Mike Tomlin
we
over
got
on the
ourselves
Commanders
timeout.
here.
That's an early time to burn that time out. I'm not a big fan of that play call whatsoever. They were better off to just have somebody move on a procedure call, get 5, and kick it away anyways. Well, they just gave him the time count violation. Okay. They did not call timeout, so.
Well, I don't mind that at all then. It's a smart decision
okay.
there,
Correct,
yeah.
fan clock violation
I thought they
against
called a
Algonquin.
timeout. I'm going, well, what are you doing that for?
Yeah, no. Coach seems to have a bit of experience behind him there. So good things there. And the thing that I want to see from the Barons is just to not feel like, you know, time is totally against you. I understand that there is some urgency to get back in this game, but there's no need to start trying to hit the deep thirds every time. There's no need to start trying to make your
Well, he's back there pretty
Playbook
good.
play
Is he going to
vertical.
do it? Is he going to take a safety? Nope, and he's kicking it away. Looks like this one's going to go to AJ Cochamilio.
Oh, not
who was the
necessarily,
short
yeah.
up back. Made it to the outside, and there's a flag on the play. And it looks like somewhere around the 25-yard line that Korah will take the ball over on offense.
Cochamilio with a decent little run back gets to the outside and eventually run out of
You're in a
bounds.
pretty good place special
There's
teams
a
wise if
flag
you're
on
up
play.
back on your punt return as AJ Cochamilio, and that's the third most dangerous man on the field. Because AJ Cochamilio in his own right is a pretty good special teams athlete.
Yeah, you know what? Kicks, returns, plays defense. So very versatile young man there.
I think he's
That's a
a
block from
receiver and
behind
running
against
back
Korah.
and
That'll
junior
back
as
him
well,
up.
I think, right?
I believe he was. Just like to get a bit of a shutout
10-yard
here.
penalty.
This is the last group on the core team that I was coached before I retired from coaching football. There's a few players out there: Austin Shachin, obviously Ethan Carkidi, Thibodeau, Miguel Bedard, some of the great kids that I coached, and Nathan Cazzetti as well. So big run here outside.
Gazzetti again gets across the 25-yard
Gazzetti.
line. First down, Korah.
Can't see who he was tackled by. It looked like number 7. Max Dufresne was able to bring him down, but not before he got about 13 or 14 yards there and another first down.
It will be really interesting
Matthew
to
Sagan
see.
with the tackle.
Game's obviously not done yet. The Barons still have a lot of opportunity left to make this closer, but if we do get a chance to see Nathan Gazzetti in offside, I'm looking forward to that opportunity, Coach, just to see what he looks like when he finally gets to that level of the province.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be a big opportunity for him to shine. And quick handoff here, pitch pass. Well, all the way down. Ethan Carkidi down around the 4-yard
Carcini
line.
gets down inside the 5. I believe he'll be
Little shovel
by
pass in the
contact.
interior there. Well brought up by the Mahomes to Travis Kelsey shovel there usually.
Yeah, and a sneaky little tool you can do there with your W position in this wing T offense is just sneak them in behind the line of scrimmage and shovel passes, those crisscross counters we've seen them run before. You know, you can know that they're in their playbook Rolodex all you want, but they're setting you up and they're waiting for your players to show you that it's there, and on that play, ends up with a big chunk play.
So Coach Hankinson sending in the play after a host of changes for the Korah offense. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get some of those seniors involved in getting the touchdown here. And the handoffs to Ethan Karkidi. After doing all that hard work, he's into for a touchdown.
In for the touchdown.
Well, we mentioned him earlier. He usually plays corner. He's also pretty effective on special teams as a coverage guy. Running back as well. He's one of the 3 or 4 players you're going to see Tom Ant give a lot of the carries to. And the thing that's a little bit different than Karkidi is he's just a traditional old school running it downhill. Put your shoulder down, secure the ball, try to get the yards that are given. You know, he's not necessarily the same bulldozer that Thibodeau is. He's not the cutting, slashing running back of Melchiori or, you know, the power and speed of Gazzetti, but he's super effective anytime he gets the ball just by being committed to being efficient with his spacing.
Yeah, he's like that Swiss Army knife for Korah. Once they get to the second half, they utilize him quite a bit, and I knew it was a matter of time. So a lot of procedure call there, so it's going to push Korah back 5 yards, and they're going to have to retry the kick. But it's 30-0 here, at 7:17 to go in the third quarter.
We haven't seen Melchiori get too involved yet, but I have a funny feeling we're going to start to hear his name called quite a bit here with the scoreline now.
Yeah, he saw the ball quite a bit, but you know, Tom paying tribute to the kids that stick with him for all 5 years, and he's getting them getting their points on the board, and that's
so the
nice
penalty
to see.
will be applied on the kickoff. Koski to kick.
Also nice to see that Nathan Gazzetti looks like he's 100% this week after looking like he hurt his hip last week, it seems. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. So the point is good by Koski. It's 31-0 now for your hometown Korah Colts over the Algonquin Barons from North Bay.
Yeah, and this is the point where you start to feel for the players over on the Baron sideline, because you have to put yourself into perspective of the fact that, you know, there's a lot of grade 13s and grade 12s over there that are playing their last football game too, and if you're that coaching staff, you're just trying to rile those guys up and, you know, tell them to make the most of the last few moments, to enjoy these last few moments. Because a lot of us don't appreciate our high school opportunities in football until they're gone. It's hard to keep those memories crisp and fresh. So feeling for those guys down there, but hoping to see some character out of them and finish this game strong. It is the last chance for a lot of the players on both sides here today. So obviously Korah look poised to get a shot at OFSA for their third time in 4 years since the pandemic. I think they were there twice before that even too. So
just a brief update. I had a look at the screen there earlier, and it was into the second or third quarter and the UTEC Bowl, and unfortunately for the Bishop Gators and Dylan Monaco, they were down 41-10 against Laurier. So bit of a tough go there, but nonetheless a terrific year, and hats off to Dylan Monaco and his Bishops team for representing well and, you know, winning the Looney Bowl last week, and then now making it all the way to the UTEC Bowl. Just a tremendous accomplishment, and happy for Dylan, who, as you well know, lived at the football field with his dad Jimmy, and, you know, his mom Christiane, big supporter, and great to see him down there getting an opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, the OUA powerhouses are usually going to have the favored position in that matchup, but for Bishops, that's their first championship at the AUS conference. They shifted over there a few years ago. I think it was their first major trophy since something like 97 too. So congrats to that program this year.
Well, a little chip shot here by special team coach
Nice little short kick.
Paul Kaldbick, and
Eventually picked up by Liam Cosgrove.
Liam Cosgrove with the
first and 10 Algonquin from their own 38-yard line.
able to secure the ball before it went out of bounds, and they're going to get the ball at their own 38-yard line.
I'm going to look it up too, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Dylan's roommate was a quarterback from North Bay on that Bishop squad as well. So
Oh, well.
I'm going to look that up and make sure I give him a shout out.
So we're going to get our look here from the offense from Coach Desbian's offense. Back to pass. Overthrew his receiver. And just doesn't seem like they're missing a little bit on their connections
Meyer
here.
looking for 32, Davian.
Yeah, and
Ball's
that defense is going to
incomplete.
start
Sets up
pinning their
second down.
ears back too, and those edge rushers, now that they know this is a game script that's from a negative position, it's going to be a lot of step back drop passes, and these DNs are going to start, pinning it back. We have some guys rolling in too. It's backups there on that D line now. So
Yeah, Miguel Bedard, and we got Owen Andriola and Johnny Lesnick.
they're going to try to make their impact on the game here too, and a couple of veteran players trying to make the most of their opportunities.
And unfortunately, that pass from
Player pass up the middle
Dane
to
Meyer to
Berube.
number 17, Berube, was
Behind him, incomplete.
kind of looked like he got a little bit caught in the sun a little bit. He just didn't see it until the end, and it was too far past his head. So 3rd down and 10, and looks like Algonquin's shipping out their punt team. So Korah's going to get the ball back here with 6:44 to go, and the ever-dangerous Nathan Gazzetti, along with Hunter Dickinson, will be back to field the punt. And hopefully this punt works out a bit better than the last couple have worked out for Algonquin. So.
Yeah, and honestly, just stick to your game script. I know your punting averages haven't been great today, but Nathan Gazzetti's over here on the field side to receive this, so do not let him play this football. Oh, and they're going to go for a fake here, Coach. They got guys and numbers.
They got some runners, and he's able to get through. Terrific play call from
what
the
a
special
great
teams coach
Spatano,
on the
beautiful run,
Algonquin
15, 20 yards
Barons.
downfield.
Got about a
First
30-yard
down,
run there,
Algonquin.
and Algonquin's going to keep the ball at the
Cochamillo,
52-yard line
AJ
of
Cochamillo
Korah.
with the tackle.
Well, they must have saw something, and I think it's because they know that Korah's been stacking up for that field side short punt out of bounds. So Korah maybe didn't have a ton of coverage, put some blockers in motion. Great call, but we have a player down here. We'll take a break.
Send that to the booth.
Sorry, folks, we're back here, and Barons on a first down, handed off here for about a 5-yard gain, it looks like. It looks like number
45, Jacob Dubois with the carry.
45, Jacob Dubois on the carry.
It's 4 good hard yards.
Quite a
before
few
being
of the
brought
Korah
down.
Colts in on that tackle. You already mentioned some of the D linemen that are now into that rotation there on defense. Starting to see some new numbers in the linebacking core too. So,
John, I can't tell you how proud I am of Miguel Bedard on how far he's come since his grade 9 year. And he has just worked so hard, and he's going to be going to Sioux College next year, and great for him. So,
those are the stories you like to hear out of the local coaching ranks, Coach.
quick pass here.
Oh,
Just unable to
Pass
connect.
ball's incomplete, in on the hands of Mathieu Debian.
yeah, and you know what? On those plays, I know it's hard to make adjustments when you have
Sets
high,
up third down.
high school offense. You know, it is pretty advanced football still, but it's hard to make in-game adjustments. But just start to sit those routes. You know, take your first couple steps like a slant and just tell your guy to sit. As long as your quarterback's on the same page, it looks like that's wide open for almost like a whip around back towards the sideline.
Yeah, 100%. So it's third down here, and this looks, at this time, it's still lots of game, but it's a pivotal point in the game where you got to try and get your team on it. And
Yeah, and you want to see your seniors having a good time in their final game too. Oh,
great pass to the fullback, number 45.
Fire pass up the middle to number 45.
well, that'll get his
Jacob Dubois
teammates
complete.
excited for him.
About
Jacob
20 yards
Dubois,
for the first
fullback
down.
on a route running over the middle, not only drags
Going
it in,
back
but
to
gets
Lincoln
about
with the
5 or
tackle
6
for
yards
Korah.
of yak after that too. So
Love to see the big fella with the nice smooth hands and
Always
getting a
love
first
it.
hand there.
And the quarterback I was thinking of is not an Algonquin alumni, but a West Ferris alumni, Mason McGriskin. Sorry, Mason McGriskin. I think either current or former roommate of Dylan Monaco's out in Bishops, North Bay High School secondary graduate.
So Meyer rolling out, trying to hit Desbian on the far side.
High pass or high snap immediately.
And you know what? He had his hands on it. He just wasn't able to reel it in. It just seems
Meyer
like
spins around.
I know I've said it a
tries to
couple
get it
times today, but
downfield,
you
falls
can tell
incomplete.
that it's one of his favorite targets. And, you know, just with the coverage that he's had, and he's got his hands on the ball, and it's just there's some bad ball luck is all I can think about is what I
Pass
call
intended
it.
for 32.
Yeah, no doubt. And I
Yeah.
felt that way last week, too, with a lot of the athletes that Llewellyn had. But unfortunately, too, at the same time, you have to give kudos to these DBs on this Korah defense because for the last couple of weeks, they've been challenged with a lot of one-on-one matchups and some jump ball situations. And on that one, you know, you could credit that incompletion to the pressure that Cam Williamson was putting on Desbian there.
So 2nd and 10 here from the Korah 33-yard line. Quick handoff in the interior, number 24, still running. What a terrific strong run there by
following a few blocks,
Septana,
refusing to go
getting
down.
all the way down
Eventually
to
tackled by Hunter
looks like
Dickinson.
about the 26-yard line, so good for about 7 yards. And that's what I really appreciated from the Algonquin run team. You know, they run hard, and you don't see that all the time. You see, there's fluent runners, but they run hard.
6-yard run will
when they
set
get
up
down
34.
there, getting about to be tackled, they the ball security is terrific, and they just put their head down and get those extra yards.
Yeah, and in three-down football, it's really hard to be a run-first offense. Obviously, Korah has that program rolling as it has for years and years, and they're an anomaly here in Ontario. You could put Huron Heights in there too, but you know you wouldn't mind seeing this this North Bay squad run the ball a bit more. 'Cause you're right.
I'm not sure who was throwing that one to. There really wasn't anybody
Meyer
there.
rolls out.
Yeah, it
Sees
almost
Watch,
looked like he
turns the other
bounced it
way,
off of
tries to
number
fake
5,
something,
Jet
but ends up having
Metcalf
to
there
throw
at
it
the
away.
end. But you know, coming back to it though, I agree with you.
There'll
There's
be a
some
turnover
tough
on down.
athletes on this offense, on this
down,
Algonquin side,
Korah.
who've really given us some real, glimpses into how they probably ran the table in North Bay. Some tough running, some strong athletes on the offense and the special team side. Their quarterback has the ability to hit, soft zones and coverage. So it's no mystery that they found their way here. Unfortunately, they just found the number 10 program in all of Canada while they got here.
So Korah is going to take over here at the 2:39-yard mark of the third quarter. And looks like we got Peyton Malcurie back here in the backfield along with Zane Murdoch. And Malcurie making a strong run here early, scrambling around, able to get all the way to somewhere around the 50,
Malchiori gets all the way to midfield before finally being knocked out of
54,
bounds.
55-yard line potentially, so center field.
25-yard run.
Yeah, and I would expect the remainder of the game to be the Peyton Malchiori show, their grade 11, who's undoubtedly going to become the bell cow once the Nathan Gazzetti era has ended here at Korah.
First down, Colts.
Certainly capable of it. We saw him carry the junior team as the main running back for a couple of years. Was a key contributor to the very balanced offense that the junior varsity SaberCats had this past summer. So he's definitely capable of carrying that crown.
Yeah, 100%. His dad, a former college player, Lou Malcurie at Ferris State. So seeing Murdoch back to pass.
Oh,
And almost picked off by Desbian. Terrific
Nice
defensive
little
play
play
there.
by Damien.
Well, you definitely
Pass
see the
ball's
potential
incomplete,
in
2nd and 10.
number 32, Matthew. So he's figured out a lot of things on defense here today, showing off his high football IQ. Undercut that route there. He knew he had overtop safety help, so was aggressive on his angle he took to that ball. No doubt why he was listed as one of the players to watch coming into this game.
Yeah, for sure. So 2nd and 10 here. See what Coach Hankinson has dialed up. Wide open, A.J. Cachamilio trying to outrace Dabian for the corner, and he's in.
Touchdown, Colts.
50.
A.J. Cachamilio.
57-yard pass, actually, pass and run from
57-yard
A.J.
touchdown
Cachamilio.
reception.
And that's going to put the Korah Colts into another position where the straight clock will run in. So folks from home, John, if you can take them through that.
Yeah, in the NOSSA playing regulations, anytime there's a 35-point differential, you will see the clock in the second half, never in the first, but in the second half go into straight time, which means we essentially only stop for injuries or timeouts at that point. So the clock will just run. There's no stopping in between plays now, and the reason for that is twofold, just to preserve any injuries, to make sure that we're not having an extended game where it's a lopsided blowout and tempers can flare. Also a chance for coaches to put in their backups and not feel like they're going to regret it if the game starts to turn back on them. So lots of reasons, and I think it's a very good rule that's been well applied here in the Northern Loop.
Yeah, this is something you don't see from a Tom Manick coach team, that people running onto the field late and not knowing their assignments. He's a stickler for that, but and those are two grade 13s out there running on the field late. So I'm not sure if that was on purpose or it did look scripted. And Nathan Hyam trying to add the extra 2-point conversion and unsuccessful. The Cleveland Barons, the Algonquin Barons defending terrifically on that play. So 37-0 here, folks, with 1:43 left to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, and I can't tell if that was one of two things with that late substitution. Because you mentioned that's pretty out of character for a Tom Manick team. I think one of two things that happened was either their point after positions are assigned based on who's the current starting offensive tackle, tight end, etc. And I think he's rolling in players now. So either that was creating confusion or that was a specific package that was meant for that fake to have some athletes at that tight end spot that they weren't prepared for. But
being a former assistant coach with Tom Manick, your specials don't change. They stay consistent. So those two players not running on the field.
Then my guess that was a special package and two players weren't ready to run it.
Yeah.
So maybe they wanted to be able to use it and just have it executed one time on camera before the offset bowl. Which could also be a dangerous trap. Because knowing the coaching staff over there, maybe they want you to prepare for that on purpose. So who knows, right?
Yeah. You never can tell the gamesmanship that will be going on. And I believe that will be in a couple of weeks down at St. Clair Field, where they'll be hosting the OFSA bowls down there. So it looks like A.J. Cochamilio, the guy that just scored the touchdown, is lining up to kick the ball. So we just heard, looks like the UTEC Bowl final was 48-24 for the Laurier Golden Hawks. Big kick by Cochamilio down to the 15, and Connor Philitreau returning the ball.
With a nice little run back. It's across the 30.
32-yard line. So
brought down by Carchidi and the Korah Colts.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some of the playmakers start to take over here, especially when you're starting to see some subs roll in for Korah. Hopefully the Barons are still locked in enough to this game in their final moments on the high school field where you start to see some of their star players show off here in the final few minutes.
Yeah, 100%. So,
ladies and gentlemen, with the plus 35-point differential, the remainder of the game will be played straight time.
So, going to be a long drive back home here. I know we're still in the third quarter, counting down, under a minute to go, but you know, long drive home, but nothing to hang their heads about. The Algonquin Barons here, just up against a little bit of a better team, obviously ranked provincially, and just weren't able to put it all together. And you can see by these passing plays here that they just seem to be out of sync. And you can credit some of their core defense, but you know, they're just doesn't seem to be that continuity rolling for them that we've seen early in the game. So,
yeah, it's a tough position for an O-line and a quarterback to be in, though. When you were the team that had the time and the spacing in the pocket and had the timing to be a high tempo offense. When you face a team for the first time this season where the defense is closing on you fast, the speed in the secondary starts to make wide open routes not feel so wide open anymore. Starts to change your internal clock and stress you out a bit, especially if you haven't experienced that before.
Yeah, so Korah rolling lots of players on the field right now, and
now that's just focus that we're looking at there, Coach.
Yeah, and you know what? It's great to see
Liliana
Sachin out on the field. I coached her in grade 9 and grade 10 when I was over with the Korah Junior program, and you know, a lot of these kids that are on the field now, they were all part of that team that I had coached before I retired, and they're out on the field now getting some playing time. So,
and Korah bringing up maybe one of the best, if not the best, female football player we've had come through the Sioux in my lifetime. And is it Robin Price, in junior?
She was, yeah.
Yeah, gold medalist on Team Ontario U18 team. So she's still in junior football, and she was playing on the U18 team this last summer. Won gold medal with Team Ontario. So
yep.
I'm sure we'll see her in the rotation next year.
So we flipped it this year, and we're now into the fourth quarter, and we're going to see some of these kids. But it's, you know, John, brings back a lot of great memories for me with a lot of these kids here, and I'm not sure if I alluded to tell you or not, but I'm being dragged back out of retirement here. I'm going back to the hard court, and I'm going to be helping assist coach with the White Pines Wolverines senior basketball boys team. So
yeah, you did give me a little sneak peek into that last week. I'm excited as a White Pines alumni and a current supporter of all their sports programs, especially with their football program. But deep shot here to 24. Oh,
and he's picked off by Cachamilio. I didn't hear a whistle.
And I think that some people on the field weren't sure if there was a whistle or not either, because you saw everyone kind of shut it down early. But we talked about Cachamilio a little while ago and how he's a multi-threat athlete there for Korah too. And has he ever taken over this game here in the final few minutes?
Yeah, you know what? Making a name for himself. He's going to be one of those leaders Coach Tom Annett's going to be counting on next year with their program. So
for sure. But coming back to you, coming over to White Pines, you know, our basketball program has really taken big steps over the last few years, and with a smaller school the way that it is, the only way that you keep that going is having quality coaches in the school. So I can tell you on behalf of all of us who are fighting to get White Pines back up and back in the ranks of competitive athletics here in Sault Ste. Marie, we're happy that you made that choice, Coach, to come out of retirement.
Yeah, you know what? Ian Grant approached me. I filled in for him a couple of times last year and a couple of games, and he came to me this year and asked if I'd be interested in helping him out. And you know, I don't know if I got the itch again a little bit, helping out a little bit last year, but basketball was where I started my coaching career here on at this particular location. It was Boating back in the day, and then I was down at White Pines for girls basketball for the better part of 15 or so years, and then I made the move to go to coach football when my son moved up.
All right,
so,
folks, first and 10, Korah.
We'll see how it goes, but I got lots to learn. I keep up with basketball quite a bit, but it's you know, the game evolves just no different than any other sport, but it's a fun bunch of kids down there, and you know, super kids to coach right now. So yeah, enjoying it so far.
Coach Grant's a great guy to be with if you're trying to get caught up on what you think you might be missing of the new stuff too, right? So
back to the game here. We got Zane Murdoch with a quick handoff to Melchiori.
Melchiori. He gets about 3 yards before being brought down.
I don't know, that there was like a gymnastics move there, but he was flipped upside down by
Seguin with the tackle.
I think that was
52, Matthew Sagan.
Matthew Sagan there with the strong, hard tackle on Melchiori. So,
well, he was one of the names we were told to watch coming into this game, and you know, number 54, I think Jacob McGill was making his presence known early too. So I think a lot of the tackles were just getting eaten up by him, but Matthew Sagan showing off some great tackling acumen there too.
Murdoch back to pass, and he had Williamson streaking down the field. He was well in behind the 33 for Algonquin, Dylan McFadden, but the connection just wasn't there, so it's going to be forcing Korah to a third down position, and I'm sure Coach Annan will make a punt decision here. So.
Definitely a lot of great athletes that we got to see here from this Barons team today, though. You know, some players that Coach definitely told us to watch out for definitely delivered and had some big performances today. You know, Wyatt Grant, I'm a lineman first type of guy. That's where my eyes always go to, whether it be offense or defense. And Wyatt Grant's been a really big player on both sides for this team. Number 54, we've mentioned a lot with Jacob McGill. He's had some big plays. Sagan, we've mentioned a lot for sure. You know, Matthew Desbian has been big. Dane Mayer's done a pretty good job at quarterback here today against a pretty stingy defense. So,
Nixon Blair back to punt, gets a great one away. Number 3, Connor Philitrew back, picks it up at his own 20, dodges a few defenders, and another hard run by him. So, you know, the score is 37-0, but this is probably some of the best athletes on a football field that I've seen come out of the North Bay program. And, you know, they're really building some strong football here, and the score is really not indicative how well the defense has played for the Algonquin Barons. Their offense hasn't been able to get, things rolling, and it's unfortunate for them. This could have been a lot closer game, but credit to their defense and their defensive coordinator Nick Shank, and I'm sure lots of input from Coach Desbian, and hats off to them for having a well thought out defense here. And they were making a difference earlier. Korah just kept plugging away and grinding them down, but well done.
Yeah, and if they can take anything away from this, it's pretty hard to build this juggernaut that Coach Annett has built. There's only 9 teams in the entire country are currently ranked higher, and this didn't come out of nowhere. It's been a long time process. But the one thing you can definitely give Algonquin is they make football players. We've seen a lot of them out here today that are impressive.
And you know what? Based on their roster, too, they had a lot of a grade 11. So this is going to be a team that you potentially look for next year. Again, if they can run the loop there down in North Bay and win everything with this team and a bunch of younger players, that by next year they're going to be even stronger. So.
Number 88, Liam Cornelius, falls incomplete, sets up second down.
Trying to get a new target involved there, and Liam Cornelius was almost able to one-hand it and pull it back in with some focus, but almost better that it dropped there because he might have been tackled for a loss had he made the completion.
No, I 100% agree here. So time ticking down here. We're at the 6:25 mark of the fourth quarter. 37-0 for your hometown Korah Colts. Second down and 10.
Number 45 as the ace back, Jacob Dubois.
Sending a pass out.
Oh, they're letting them play here at the end here, Coach, because
I don't know. That Chase Venn was on the coverage there, and it was tight coverage.
Oh, yeah.
Not getting a lot of complaints out of the North Bay bench there, but that's just could have potentially being classy. But I don't know, it looked like he had his hands on him. I can't see from how close it was, but he was well covered nonetheless.
Yeah, I think that sideline is more so just aware that the clock is winding down and not trying to get animated here, but if that was a different point in that game, I think there's some questions coming from that sideline. I like that play design.
Great pass here to number 4, Owen Shillington. Able to get a first down.
Gets a first down
at the 50-yard mark.
20-yard gain to the 50, brought down by number 80.
Big third down conversion here for
your
the
Colts,
Algonquin Barons.
Yeah, some nice route concepts there and a confident throw by their quarterback. And I know that they're capable of it. They wouldn't have been at this point in the season without it. But
nice tackle by number 67 for the Korah Colts, Cade Boyle.
There you go.
Name we haven't called pretty much all year.
And getting some new names of the future in the field. I'm sure we'll start to hear them as the next couple of seasons go on, though.
Oh, 100%. It's just a cycle.
The tackle looks uncovered here. Oh, there we go. They fixed it. Oh, and this is a trips bunch formation here.
Desbian with the tackle. With the reception.
Beautiful blocking.
Not sure what the flag was, but potentially a hold by referee Corelli on that one.
Both the 49-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunately, the two blockers there almost did more harm to each other than the player that they went out to block. End up kind of trucking each other in the process. I love the aggression. You can tell that it's not a play that they ran a lot, though, because it wasn't quite as crisp as all the rest of the stuff they run.
I'm not sure if that was a face mask signal. It is. Rough play, face mask against Korah.
So the missed tackle came with some extra there.
So it's going to give the Algonquin Barons enough for a first down here, trying to get rid of that goose egg.
Wait till a little bit, just announce that fans to please not go on the field till after the cup is presented. Yeah, if you don't mind.
So we're down to about the 3:25 mark here, and the Algonquin Barons threatening on the Korah 37-yard line.
Okay, folks, after that's applied, first down, Algonquin.
So Meyer slinging it now. Has an open receiver, number 24.
Meyer downfield to number 24, Smetana.
Oh, they're going to call him short.
He gets to about the 1. Pass is complete.
Well, look, talking about players who've showed out today and have made us aware that there are some great players out there on North Bay and the Algonquin roster. Number 24, Ryan Smetana there. What a great job.
Well, it looks like Korah's called a timeout, so we're going to send this back to the booth with 2
Please, we have a
minutes
timeout
and 52
call.
to go in the game. Brief timeout from our sponsors. Okay, we're back, folks, with 2:52 here to go in the game. Korah calling a brief timeout to give some of the backups an understanding of the goal line plays that potentially happening here. So Algonquin trying to get on the board, nonetheless, against the Korah backups, but
still players that are a part of that practice culture, a part of those repetitions, face the first team every day of the week.
yeah, and looks like they're going to be.
Oh, did they get the stop? Oh, no,
they
and it's
are
in.
Wow, the way
touchdown for
referee
Algonquin.
Ewell was running in there, I thought that he was going to signal him down, but
Dude, did they give
Algonquin-
that? Who did they give that to there? Was that 54? I think that was number 54, Jacob McGill. They gave
54,
that carry
Jacob
to.
McGill.
It was Jacob McGill.
it was.
With a
Yeah,
short carry.
so-
for
Getting
the
one of their
touchdown.
star players a nice little gift at the end of his season, maybe his career. I'm not sure what his age is, but
Yeah, no, they got him in there, and credit to them for, thinking of those players. So I've always appreciated that part of it. And looks like we're having some more shenanigans here. Are they sending the big fella out wide out there to? Oh no, they're not. He's walking off the field, or is he?
he might stick around while talking to the ref as a kind of distraction. They might.
Lonesome polecat over there.
Oh, he is. He's looking like he's coming off to see if someone covers him, and Korah just sniffed him out. So they were trying to get all their stars a touch there at the end. Oh, they're still going to maybe throw a jump ball to him here, Coach.
Oh, I would. Why not?
They are. Oh,
Algonquin goes for 2, falls incomplete.
They were trying to get the ball to big number 99. Was it?
95, I think.
95.
That's Wyatt Grant, if I'm not
Wyatt
mistaken.
Grant, and he was out there all by himself. They were trying to keep him like he was walking off, and Korah figured it out, as you said, and that Paul Gunda was throwing up where he could have got it. He just was unable to bring it down. So
Yeah, no doubt. A little gamesmanship there, trying to have a conversation with the official while you're coming off, make it seem like you're just slowly leaving the field, and then just never leave. But, Korah's coaching staff's got a lot of eyes over there who've been through a lot. So they probably sniffed it out and told someone to go and cover him. But I love Coach Desbian giving his star players a chance to get on the scoreboard, get their name in the paper today. Those players, they're going to be known at some point anyways, I think, because those are a couple of big and pretty talented football players. I'm sure they've generated some attention somewhere.
yeah,
If from nowhere else, there's a coach up in this booth here today who's probably going to go and talk to them about where they're going to college next year. So
I would imagine there's some good players on there to take that full opportunity. And just a quick shout out to the Korah coaching staff. I did mention the Barons coaching staff of Coach Desbian, Coach Shank, Coach Wilkinson, the other Coach Wilkinson, Coach Burl, Coach Edmond, Coach Baldessaro, and Coach Robillard. And that is the end of the game, folks. Credit to the Korah
Ladies
Colts
and
coaching
gentlemen,
staff of Coach Annett, Coach
Your
Antonello,
2024
and the rest of the gang over
NOSSA
there.
champions,
They are the NOSSA
Korah
champions, another team from
Colts.
Sault Ste. Marie, locking down that
Ladies and
oldest
gentlemen, at
trophy
this time,
in
we
Ontario,
are
I
going
believe.
to
So
ask
Canada
you
high
to
school
please
football.
Canada
stay
high school
off the
football.
track,
So
stay off the
37 to
field
6 is
until
your final
the
score.
trophy is
And
presented.
thanks for the year,
You
John.
will
It's
then
been a
be allowed
slice.
at some point to
We'll
go
catch you on the
field
rebound.
Sounds
and
good,
take
Coach. Thank you.
pictures with your favorite football player.